And I will work it out.
How are you guys doing?
Good, thanks, sir.
That's good. That's good. What did I give you guys for homework again? Ah, it's not possible. Not possible. Not possible.
I think it was 1.18, I think.
1.9, yes.
I think it was 18.
And it was also 1.18, huh? Let's see what 1.18 is all about. Aha, yeah. That sounds about right. Okay. So for today, ne, for homework, I'm only going to give you one since I gave you 1 point.
You killed us with work, sir. We're so tired after doing all that work.
I want you just to do 1.14 for homework. All right. So today, I want us to do 1.11. Thank you, sir, for shutting the door there. Yeah, 1.14 for homework. Yeah, please share it on the group.
Don't do us like that. You don't know what you said that we're going to do it now.
I will see those people next year. I will welcome them.
Man of wise words.
Yes. Not today. Yes. A new exercise. Not today. Well, let's discuss it in the break. Yeah, let's chop it up in the break. Okay, now can you see why I told you to do 1.9? Because when we did it together, it wasn't that bad, right? Did you go watch the video?
Which one?
1.8. To re-look at how it.
I was here. I didn't read to it.
Well done. But go and look at that after having tried. I think a lot of things will begin to make more sense. It's still not. You didn't attempt it. You're in a worse position. Because when you do sit with it, you're going to be singing the same song. You see? Now they're going to figure out where they're struggling and all that kind of stuff. You know what, guys? Remember when you first did accounting, especially those who it was first at this tertiary level. How many people only had accounting when they got to tertiary? It didn't make sense, right? Not so. It makes sense, but it took a while. You're not helping my cause. Just. So you got
It didn't make sense.
Okay, my whole point is this, guys. Anything, whether it's maths, whether it's accounting, right? At some point, it doesn't make any sense, but you have to try, and try again. And then it slowly starts to click. Oh, that's why we did that. That's why we did that. That's why. There's no running away from that learning curve, is what I'm trying to tell you. Does that make sense? So me redoing it is not necessarily going to help you skip that learning curve, okay? But yes, we'll discuss it in the break. Yeah, I'll come over and we'll work on it. Okay. So 1.11, I promise you, maybe I shouldn't make promises. Maybe I might let you down. I did say 1.9 is not that bad, or 1.8 is not that bad. But I want us to begin with our variances. Okay, I want us to start playing around with this. And 1.18 was really pushing you guys in that direction. All right, that's about as complex as it's gonna get. But then let's go to 1.11. okay, and see what's going on over there. So if we go to the required, it says calculate the following variances: material price variance, okay, material quantity variance, labor rate variance, labor efficiency variance, fixed overhead expenditure variance, and then variable overhead efficiency variance. Okay. Now, what's important with these variances that you need to know the formula. Okay. So I've kind of popped that in there, but obviously in the exam you won't have that. So please make sure. What? Getting what? Because you guys are second years. Speak to your program manager, who will then consult with your head of school of management, who will then probably speak to the developers of the module, and then they will have an answer. I do not know why they don't, but I know for a fact that all financial modules that I ever did, they never gave us a formula sheet. You needed to know the formula. So yeah, you can ask them, they might have an answer, but I'll be lying to you if I say this is why.
So this is unit 1, obviously, right? I've tested on unit 1 and 2.
Yes.
What's the point of unit 1? Because it says budgeting and standard costing.
Mm-hmm.
How is this costing? Like what is in 1.0?
Standard costing, there's an element of variances. And variances is us saying, have we diverted from our budget or not? And when we divert, the question is, has it been a favorable diversion or an unfavorable diversion? So can you see how it falls into that? Okay. So here now, we're looking at the material price variance. Okay. To calculate that, we know that it's the actual cost minus the standard cost. In other words, the budgeted cost. Okay. Is there a variance in that? And then times the actual quantity. So since we are analyzing the variance between the actual cost and the budgeted cost, we keep the quantity at constant. Okay. So let's go through the question. It says Nikita Limited manufactures and sells a single product and uses a standard cost system. The standard costs were set as follows for the current accounting period: 40 kg of material at 1 Rand 50 per kg. Okay. And then 25 direct labor hours at 4.3 per hour. Okay. And then overheads, 3 machine hours at 2.5 per hour. And then standard cost for one finished unit, 175.50. Okay, so that's for one unit. Then budgeted fixed overhead, 16,250. Okay, so that's our budgeted fixed overhead. Then actual results. Okay, so our actual results: material purchased, 82,000 kgs at 1 Rand 55 cents per kg. All material purchased was issued. Anybody got an idea why they are telling us that? Yeah, you could also think of that. Okay, but there's another reason. But we'll discuss that when we go to the second thing they want us to calculate there, the material quantity variance. Okay, then direct labor cost, 54,000 hours at 4 Rand 50 per hour. Okay, then 6,120 machine hours were used to produce 2,000 units. So we actually produced 2,000 units. Okay, because remember, these are actual amounts. Then 6,000 machine hours were budgeted. All right. And then actual fixed overhead was 20,000. Right. And that is all the information given in the question. Okay. So the first one, we obviously want to find out our material price variance. What is the variance, if any, on price between what actually happened and what we budgeted for? Okay. Remember, you guys are financial managers. So we need to assess these things. Have we effectively budgeted? Are we doing the things that need to be done correctly? Isn't it? So what is our actual cost per unit for material? Is what? How do we find our actual cost for our material? We say?
We ask the actual cost of material. We don't say the kg.
82 is the kgs that we bought.
Times 1.55.
So what is our price? The 82, we're looking for the price, isn't it? Per kg.
But that is the price per kg.
That's the total. 82 is the kgs we bought. What's the price? We bought 82 kgs at?
155.
That's our price. That's the actual price.
1.55 times.
1.55.
Oh, that's for one.
Yes, for 1 kg.
Times it by the actual quantity.
Yeah, that's giving us our actual total cost. Can you see here? We're going to times by that, but not at this juncture just yet. Because can you see I'm following the formula on the board, but you're not wrong. We could have gone that way.
So they give us the units and the price for one.
Yeah, there they gave us not units, they gave us kgs. Yes. And then the price per kg. Because didn't they say at 1 rand 55 per?
Is the standard cost 100?
No. Sorry? Yes. Yes, because there they said 40 kgs of material at 1 rand 50 per kg.
Yeah.
You see, so it's per kg, so it is 1 rand 50. Are we together? Is this your first lecture for the day?
No.
Whew. Who did you have before me?
Accounting. Mumtaz.
Mumtaz. Okay.
So is the variance 4,100?
What are we timesing by here?
82,000.
82, because it's the actual. Can you see that? We could very easily use budget. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell me, this 4,100, is it favorable or unfavorable? Remember, we need to know whether because seeing that if we get 0, that means there's no variance. It means what we budgeted and what actually happened is exactly the same. Why did you say it's unfavorable?
Because it's more than we actually anticipated to pay.
How do you know that?
Because the price per kg was a lot higher.
There we go. It's as simple as that. Can you see?
So
You have been requested by popular demand. Please repeat.
it's unfavorable because you have to pay 4,100 extra than you actually thought you would pay. And because, well, the reason being was because it was a lot more expensive per kg.
If we look here,
It was 5 cents more expensive.
there you go. Can you see that? The actual price per kg was 1 rand 55 as opposed to what we budgeted, which is 1 rand 50. So already we are spending more.
Also, so the standard cost is budgeted.
Yes.
So we get a negative, for example, like let's say it was the opposite way, like
Yes.
It is favorable there
100%.
because then you're saving money.
Yes. All right.
Does that happen often?
It does happen. It does happen. Okay. So we're happy with that one. Then, then we can move on to the next one, right? And now we're talking about the material quantity variance. So now what is being assessed here? Quantity. Was there a quantity variance in terms of what? Material. How do we calculate that? Again, we use the formula. So actual quantity, we know it. It's obviously the 82.
How do you get the standard quantity?
So the standard quantity, we have to say,
I only see 40 kgs.
you only see 40 kgs, and that's per unit, isn't it?
No, that's 40 kgs.
Yes. But if you look at the bottom of that, before we go to
It's
budgeted,
standard cost.
yes,
But then
for,
how many units did we produce?
but there, just before we go there,
2,000.
yes, now you're thinking exactly where I want to take you. So we have standard cost for one finished unit, right? So that means that that 40 kgs is for one unit, isn't it? According to what we budgeted. So in order to get how much total kgs of material we would have used according to our budget, we'll then have to say that 40 times what?
2,000.
Times 2,000, because 2,000 is what we actually,
Which would be 80,000.
100% correct. Because the 2,000 is what we, the number of units we actually produced. All right? And then times your standard cost, which we know to be what? 1.5 over here. Maybe you're already getting to the answer. I don't know. I haven't calculated the answer, so.
Oh wait, yeah, 1.5.
Yes.
3,000. So.
Is it 3,000?
Yeah.
I don't have the answer here. I'm just calculating
So
the
it's the 2,000, which is the 82,000 minus 80,000, which would be 2,000.
2,000
times 1.5.
Okay. Yeah, you're giving me the answer. I haven't calculated
I
anything.
was asking, 'cause I'm
So the standard cost was the budget cost, and we got it from the 40 kg.
What are you asking, Nadia? Let's hear your question first.
175.50 is the standard cost for one finished unit. So there in the formula it said standard cost. So I took that figure and directly plugged it in.
Oh, but remember, here we're looking at only the material variance. We're not looking at the variance of the producing the whole product. Does that make sense?
So will that
Are you answered before we come this side? I just want to finish one so that
when would you use the 175?
175. So
Units quantity variance or what?
yeah, if we had something of that nature, because then we're saying our actual cost per unit of this finished good versus our budgeted cost per unit.
Not the standard cost of the material.
No, because material, we're just speaking to one component of the product. Yeah. Okay, everybody happy? Okay, so then we can go to the next one. Now we're talking labor rate variance. So you can see now what I was telling you earlier when we did the theory side, that the answer of what you're doing is in the name of it. So labor rate, all right? So obviously we know that there's budgeted and then there's actual. So again, we're just saying, is there a variance in the budgeted versus the actual? So again, we go back to the information they provided.
450.
Thank you very much. 450 is the actual.
Yeah.
Okay, let me use a different color. 450. And then what was our budgeted or standard rate? 430. Can you already see from here? Do we have an unfavorable? In fact, we didn't discuss whether this is favorable or unfavorable. Is that favorable or unfavorable? The 3,000. You say unfavorable. How many people say unfavorable? That 3,000 variance there, the material quantity variance. How many people say unfavorable? No, Nadia, Thomas, okay, Sarah. Okay, hands down, hands down, hands down, hands down. How many say favorable? Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're wrong though. Okay, thank you for voting, guys. All right, now
40 times 2,000 is how much?
is 80,000, right? So why are we saying this is unfavorable?
Because the actual was greater than the budget.
The actual what?
Wrong.
No, you're on it. I just want you to
Actual-
fully
the
explain it.
actual quantity.
The actual quantity that we went and bought is greater than the budgeted quantity we planned to buy. So that means we spent money again. We spent more money than we planned to, right? So this is obviously then unfavorable. Is it making sense?
The next one would be unfavorable also.
And that's where I was going to say, just from looking at this, you should be able to already tell this is going to be unfavorable
The actual is greater.
because the actual is greater than the budgeted.
So why do you call it standard rates? Why can't we call it budget?
It's not me.
Oh,
It's the syllabus.
oh,
I would have just said budgeted. It makes it drives it home. Standard, what are we, you get what I mean? But yeah, I would have just called it budgeted. All right, actual hours. What actual hours do we have?
I think it's 6,120, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I think it's 6,120.
Okay. Anybody else got another answer?
Sorry. So please ask the question again. Sorry.
So remember, we have to times by actual hours.
Yeah.
Actual hours of what? We have machine hours there, and we have direct labor cost. 54,000 hours at 450. What should we be using?
No. 54.
Yes, we should be using 54. Okay.
Because it says labor
Gable.
and not machine hours.
That's exactly it. And then what do we get, guys? We already know this is unfavorable. Okay, you can also put the rand amount in brackets if you want.
Extra zero.
Extra zero. Oh, thank you.
10,800. Could be wrong.
Are we getting the same amount? Everybody happy? Okay, no, that's good. Then we go to labor efficiency variance. Efficiency. When we are saying we are looking at efficiency, and we're looking at it from a labor perspective, what would be efficient? Yes.
So just going with like the decrease, standard hours would be what you want, or efficient would be anything less, and then less efficient would be anything more. Yeah.
Okay. If we were to break it down in simple terms, just looking at hours,
Yeah. So
are we more efficient when we take more time to do something?
no.
We're not. The less the time, the better.
Yeah.
Is that what you both wanted to say? Because I saw your hands come down at the same time.
It doesn't necessarily mean that if you take longer, you do less.
We're saying, assuming that we want to make 10 products. Yes, the units stay constant. Yeah. Okay. Everybody together there. Okay. So now standard, our actual hours minus our standard hours.
54,000 minus 50,000.
Minus 50,000. Where are you getting the 50,000 from?
25 direct labor hours times how many units?
Mm-hmm.
2,000. So 25 times 2,000.
Everybody getting that? Let me just write it down there. 2,000, the number of units, isn't?
Times 25.
Times 25 direct labor hours per unit. Is it making sense? Okay, we got the 25 direct labor from remember, the cost of producing one unit. There's a component which speaks to the direct labor hours. So in other words, how much direct labor hours we had to use in order to produce that 1 unit. Making sense? Okay. Right.
Times 4.3.
Times 4.3, which is then the standard rate. In other words, the budgeted rate.
17,000.
Okay, 200. And is this favorable or unfavorable?
Unfavorable.
It's unfavorable. Unfavorable. We're not happy. Okay, can you see? We can even say we're not efficient because it took us more time than we planned.
So I see you don't have a formula for fixed overhead expenditure.
Mhm.
Would that just be the difference between the budgeted and actual?
Simple as that.
You're not timing it by anything.
I'm not timesing it by anything. Unless they tell you how to calculate that fixed overhead expenditure, then you'll have to apply. So maybe they might give you an application rate, right? Then they'll tell you to calculate the budgeted, you're using direct labor hours as an application rate, all right? Then to do the actual, we use the machine hours, for example. So you'll need to calculate both and then obviously get the difference between the two. But in this case, you are 100% on the money, sir. They gave it to us. They said the actual was 20,000, isn't it? Minus the budgeted, which they gave us again, was 16,050.
Should be 3,700.
Yes, that sounds about right. And again, that's unfavorable.
The next one, so I don't know.
Okay. Variable overhead efficiency variance. Variable overhead efficiency. So there you can see we have the 6,120 machine hours.
Would that be times by 750?
7 Rand 50.
Because it's 250 per hour. No. That 6,120 would be times by 2.5.
Sorry, say again?
The 6,200 no, the 6,120
Yes.
would be times by 250.
Where are you getting the 250
From
from?
the overheads, line number 3 on the top.
Oh, yes.
And then we could just take that answer and divide it by
Are you only going to use that though? The 6,120 and the 250. Is that all you're going to use?
No.
Remember, we need the variance, isn't it?
Correct.
So we need to look at actual minus, right, to get the difference, isn't it? So
Can't we take 6,000 times the 250? That'll give us the standard.
yes,
Then we take the 6,120 times by 250 and get the actual.
we can. It's the same thing. So here, of course, just with the consistency we've been working with, we're looking at actual hours, isn't, for the machinery, and we're looking at then the standard hours, or in other words, the budgeted.
Oh, yeah.
Hours, okay? And then we're timesing by the 2 Rand 50, isn't it? And then again, here you can see it's already unfavorable.
It says 3 machine hours. Does that not mean it's 3 hours dedicated of that time per unit?
Yes, that's exactly it. So when you say 3 times 2,000 units, what do you get? 6,000. So can you see we're definitely correct? Everybody happy? So 120 times 2.5, what do we get? 6,120. 20.
Oh no, so
I got 300, sir. 300.
Okay, 300. Is everybody getting the same thing? Okay, and again, we said this is unfavorable. Okay,
Also breaks.
call for a break. Do you think so?
I was doing with speed, sir. We get rewarded.
Yes.
Rewarded.
You want? Okay, is that fine? So why don't we leave early? Why don't we push and leave earlier rather?
Yeah, happy with that.
Define early. That one I can't promise. That one I can't promise. So my early.
So I'm happy to leave at 2, eh?
Not that kind of early. Not that kind of early. No, you were gonna have a break.
Just manifesting.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's more than welcome. Okay, so this is what. You guys want to take a break now? Are your minds that tired? Seriously, we'll take a break if you feel that way. We would start 1.12. So let me tell you what we're doing today. Maybe let me start there, then you guys tell me what you want.
Give us the agenda, sir.
We're doing 1.11, which we've just done. Doing 1.12. 1.12 is much of what we've already done, and then there's just theory on the end of it. And then we're just discussing, in fact, we don't need to discuss that one. 1.16. That you can go and I'll give you as homework for you to go and
We're just
read.
gonna do 1.12.
And then go home. Nice. So yes, there is no delay.
Do you agree? Yes.
Yes. Let's do it now. Let's do 1.12 and then go home. So let's do it.
You guys don't have class after this?
No.
Okay. All right, then let's do 1.12 and then we call it.
Sorry, Ashton.
You might just make 2, eh? Might just happen.
I'm gonna keep quiet. No involved.
Okay. So again here, all right. So again here, under the required, it says calculate the following material variances and indicate whether each variance is favorable or unfavorable. So we've got the purchase price variance, okay? And again, we know that's the difference between, this is how I would actually write down the formula. Actual cost minus standard cost times your actual quantity purchased, okay? So going into the question, it says Mona Lisa Enterprises manufactures a revolutionary new product called Super Cube. The standard material costs of the finished product are as follows. 2.5 kg raw material gap at 16 Rand per kg. Okay, so we budget 2.5 kgs at 16 Rand per kg. Then the actual results, there you can see, purchase of raw material, all right, 1,700 kgs at 15 Rand 20 per kg. Okay, issues of raw materials. In other words, remember we buy the material, but we can store it somewhere. Then when we issue, we're saying what we actually used. Does that make sense? So here it says issues of raw material, 1,700 kg. Okay. Sorry, 1,500 kgs. Okay. Units of super tube manufactured, 610 units. Okay. So that's all the information they provided us. So here again, the actual cost.
16 rand.
Is that the actual or the budgeted?
No, I lied. 1520.
Yep, 1520 is the actual.
It's gonna be favorable.
Mm-hmm. Is it making sense now, guys? Then times the actual quantity, which we know is how much? The actual quantity?
It says issues.
Issues, remember what I said issues is? We have in storage what we purchased, but issues is, okay, this is what we're going to use in the factory to produce. Can you see we've issued it for production?
So what's the actual?
You tell me, it's 17.
See, so I wasn't listening.
Because remember here, can you see this? We're looking at the variance, the purchased. Can you see that? Material purchase price variance. Okay? And so what do we get? What do we get? You got a negative 1,360. Okay. So is this favorable or unfavorable? So it's favorable. Everybody understand why? Because this is it's a cost. And we have actually spent less than we budgeted to spend. Can you see that?
Therefore, it's a profit. Therefore, it's favorable.
It's favorable. Okay. We go to the next one. Now, can you see this variance? Material issue price variance. And here you can see.
Shouldn't the price just stay constant, but the issue just stay?
The price is staying constant. You'll see now.
It's 1520 minus
Exactly.
16 times 1.5. Laziness. Laziness, so.
I'm trying to show you that it stays the same. Okay. You jinxed me.
Copy.
I tried that. I clicked on copy. Copy.
Click on paste.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Drag what you got.
Hey. Ah, guys,
Rumble free.
it's disrespecting me, this thing. Let me.
It would have been faster if you just.
I know. We're here now. We're here now. All right. Ah, finally. Okay. Happiness. Okay, and then obviously this time times 1,500. Can you see? Because that's what we issued. Ish, your maths is stronger than mine. I'm not sure from my side. Are we getting what he said?
What's this? I got negative 1, negative.
Yes, negative 1, 2.
Favorable.
Okay, so yeah, we are getting what you suggested there, sir. And again, this is favorable. Okay, because actual is less than budgeted. Then we go to the material quantity variance. Quantity variance. So here, actual quantity was 1,700, isn't?
Those are the purchase though, so.
Yes, you're actually right. It was the purchase.
Okay, so what I did was I took the 2.5 times 610.
2.5.
Yeah.
Where are you getting the 2.5 from?
From the top.
Oh, to get the budgeted.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. You said 2.5
Times 610.
times 610, because that's the total number of units that we produced, isn't it?
Correct.
And then what do we get?
1,525.
Okay, and then we know that we need to times all of this by the budgeted cost per unit, which is 16.
So can I check this way? I think I'm wrong.
What does everybody else think?
Oh no, I'm not wrong. 400.
400 Rand. Is this favorable or unfavorable?
Unfavorable. Yeah.
15 is less than.
Ding, ding, ding. You can't think.
The actual cost is less than.
Yeah,
So I spend less.
What do you say?
Spend less.
Yes. Yes.
Unfavorable.
It's favorable.
Favorable.
The 1.5 is better than 1.5. It's better than
The quantity that we actually used was how much?
One.
The quantity we budgeted to use
Oh, okay. Yeah.
was, you see.
So it was a favorable amount, 400.
Mhm. Okay. Right. All right, then the final one there, the final thing we have to calculate for today is your total material variance if an issue price variance is used. Okay, so we're obviously just then adding what we had the previous the
So it would be
material.
1,525.
Yes, how are you getting that?
We did it at 2.5 times. No?
No, I'm confused as to what you're saying. It's not, I'm not saying you're wrong. Just tell me again.
So the actual quantity would be 1.5 times
Yes, 1.5 is the actual.
1520. Yeah.
1520.
I'm just gonna go with it.
1520.
Oh, yeah, 1520
Okay.
minus, well, close bracket.
Yes, okay.
1,525
1,525
times 16.
times 16.
Straight. Yeah, that's right.
You're getting what?
22,800 minus.
It's a minus.
No. It's to do the individual brackets. Okay, but
Oh,
the
okay,
answer-
okay, let's do that.
The answer.
So which one is 22? The first one. 22, 600.
800.
800. Second one.
24, 400. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. These are bigger values.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So what is our final answer?
Should be maybe 1.16. Wait.
Hmm.
Yeah, 1.6.
Mathematically,
negative 1.6.
yeah, it should be mathematically it should be a negative 1,600. Yes.
So why are we not using the previously 10 classes?
That's what I wanted to do, but obviously, there's different ways to skin a cat. So if you look here,
Material issue price was 1.4 times before that. So there were already answers there instead of them calculations.
so here you go. But again, it's all about what
They just give us a short.
works for you. Yes, ma'am.
Formula is a plus, but in working it's minus. Why is that the case?
The formula is a plus. Oh, because these are the variances, isn't? So we already have the actual. So
That's
for instance
only
here,
using the variances now, so, but didn't we use the formula?
yeah, we use the full-on formula. So can you see? If we were to follow the formula that he presented to us, the alternative method, we'd get to the same thing.
AQAC,
Because we're basically adding these two, isn't? Ah, sorry, I lied.
you're adding the.
We're adding these
the
two
second
here.
and the third.
Yes. Can you see that? So you'd get your negative 1,600.
If you're using the formula in words,
In words, yes.
Wait, it says material conjugate
Plus, yes.
why only minus?
because we're not using that.
We're not
Yeah.
using
We're using
it.
the formula on the top.
Yeah. we're actually, in a way, almost redoing, as he mentioned, what we did there. Because remember, we would minus the actual minus the budget. Because here now we're looking for the total variance. So to get the total variance, remember, whenever we're looking at a variance, we need to get the difference between what actually happened and what budgeted, what we budgeted or planned to happen, forecasted to happen. So let's just do another exercise for
I know, sir. So we're pushing it.
I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. So, as I mentioned, the rest, it was just theory. Okay, we've calculated all we need to calculate there. So they say 4 possible causes, all right, for material price variance. Okay, these are the things you need to know, right? Because you never know, they can very well ask this in your test or your exam. Okay, and then obviously 7 advantages of your standard costing. All right, so guys, please just go read over 1.16. Yeah, it's just theory, and then please also just do 1.4. You've already done 1.8, so that's perfectly fine. That's all I will ask of you. Yeah, 1.4. No, sorry. 1.14. Thank you for that.
So how does this get asked in the test? Will they just ask you like directly like this variance and then we apply the formula?
Yes.
Get the answer, say whether it's favorable or unfavorable. That's how.
And then they can ask you what could have happened for it to turn out unfavorable, or what could have happened for it to turn out favorable. That's when you'll then break into such information.
So do we have to do 1.14?
Yes, because you've done
And
1.
13?
No, it's fine. 1.13 is much like this. But since you mentioned it, okay, so those who wanted to consult about 1 or 2 things, you can come see me now. But before you guys disappear, please, can we just do the register?
Literally, it's like baby account.